because I know that there was a lot of interest for this topic. So without further ado, I'm going to hop off camera and pass it off to Aiden. Thank you, Aiden, for being here today.
Sure, no problem. First, I wanted to start out by asking everybody what kind of experience they actually have with OBS. Is this something that you have already or something that you're looking to use? That'll give me somewhere that I can start.
Very little to none.
Guessing that's where a lot of people are at. Let me.
I've used it a tiny bit. Like I've streamed like hosting like Jackbox games and done a tiny bit like I put up a static image when I didn't have video going, kind of very basic stuff like that. But that's about it for me.
Oh, and I apologize. I just want to add one thing. Please feel, I feel, Aiden, you're okay with being interrupted, but if you don't want to interrupt, you please put questions in the chat or the Q&A. I'm watching that as well. So if it's not like a place to interrupt or something, put those questions in as well, and I will get those taken care of. Just wanted to remember that formality.
Yep, but that's fine. I am completely okay with being stopped and interrupted whenever you guys have questions about anything. All right, so that's experience level. So one of the first things that I always like to talk about when I'm showing people how to do all of this stuff, I believe was already talked about in the last workshop. That's background and lighting. Those are the most important things when you're doing any type of live streaming or recording. Pay attention to what's behind you. Pay attention to your lights. Best lighting is always one in front of you and one above and behind. That's going to light up your face so that the camera can see it, and it's going to give you this nice silhouette on your shoulders from the light, so you stand out from your background. So everybody can see OBS here, correct? Yes. In OBS, it looks like a lot. There is a bunch of things here, and I'll go over them starting from the left here. Scenes. So this area down here is where it's for the easy switching between your favorite settings that you have. Over here you have sources. This is where those settings come from. So this is where you get your cameras, you get your audio. Let's actually open that up. So here's a bunch of the different devices and sources that you can use. Audio input, audio output, you can use browser pages, display captures, game captures, you can use images, video, audio, a bunch of other things, text. Let's go over a couple of those sources real quick and do display capture. So when you're creating a new source, add plus, and you will give it a name. It has to be a new name, a different name from everything that's already in there. If you pick something that's already in there, any change that you make on that will change on all of your scenes. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. Just create a new capture device whenever you can. Open up this screen here, and this is what's going to allow you to pick your capture. So here there are a couple options. Actually, this is not the one that I was trying to show you. Let's discard that. I wanted to show you why is that not working? Cancel. Window capture, that's what we want. So here you can see that it has all of the different windows that I have opened that you can look at. Different programs that I am currently running, stuff like that. It's pretty much any window that you can have open. In your sources here, you have little eyeballs. This is what turns the source on and off. From here, you can also lock your different sources so that it doesn't move from your background. Next over we have the audio mixer. So you see here that I have 2 microphone inputs and the desktop audio. I like to keep my desktop audio off in case my computer makes any sounds. I don't want that to be recorded or streamed out. Next over here we have transitions. I don't use a whole lot of transitions, but there are some in here where you can put in a transition, and when you switch scenes, it'll switch from the one scene to the next with whatever cut or fade that is in here. There's a bunch of different options that you can choose from. A little bit more advanced than I'm going to get into today. Just wanted to touch on that. Then we have our control panel. So right here is where you're going to do things like start recording, start streaming, and virtual camera. Virtual camera is a lot of fun because I can actually make my camera from OBS go out to things like Zoom or Discord or Facebook, anything that uses a webcam. I can tell it that OBS is my webcam. Start streaming button. If you have it set up in your settings, you can go in there and attach your Twitch account or your Facebook account, YouTube account with different programs. You can also stream to a bunch of them at once. Just a single button, hit start streaming. It'll go out to that. Maybe at the end, when we have questions, I can go over that a bit more. Wanted to deal with some of the easier stuff first. Start recording. Hit it, it'll record everything that is happening on your OBS and save it directly to your computer. Studio mode, right here, it splits up your screen, and what this is for changes on the fly. When you are in the middle of a stream or you're recording, everything that is on the right side is what the audience can see. What's on the left side is what you can change. You can change all of this stuff, and the audience won't see it until you hit the transition button. So that's the basic layout of what's here. Stuff can be pulled out and moved around as you want it. I like having my stuff all along the bottom. Now going on to overlays. This is one of the coolest things that I think OBS can do, which is actually change your background. So these are all overlays. I have edges, different lighting and effects that are in this. The programs that you want, or the files that you want to use for this, are PNGs or JPEGs to make your borders and your overlays. A PNG is really nice because it gives you a nice empty space to where you can put it over your camera or over anything on OBS and you can see stuff behind it. Otherwise, you have to try and work around it and make your camera fit into what's there. Let's show you the difference between a PNG and a JPEG. So my background right now is a JPEG, and I have my camera sitting on top of it. When I have a PNG file put over it, it gives that nice 3D effect. It's sitting on top of my camera. You can also overlay videos, which is really cool, videos and audio. I'll show you one that I made a couple months ago. It's just a scene from one of my favorite cartoons, and it plays right here while I'm doing my stuff. I added a transparency to it, and it's just overlaying right on top of what I'm doing. So to change and add stuff, you go into your sources and you pick your image file, and that will give you your borders and stuff that you can work with. Let's hop back here. There we go. Something that you're going to want to be able to do is to transform your different images. This is what changes the size of what's going on here. So I want to put this in the center. I can grab and drag just like any basic image or like picture processing stuff. Grab the corners, drag it around. If you want to unlock the dimensions, you hit shift and it'll let you free roam. Now to cut an image down, let's go back here, turn my backgrounds on. Right click on either the source in the list here or on the source on the image. And you're going to go to transform. This is how you're going to change the size of your image and cut it down to where you want to be. So edit transform here. If I wanted to bring my camera in on the sides and from the top and the bottom, because resizing it just moves stuff around, you got to come down here and you can crop. And what you're basically doing is you're telling it how much to take off of your image. And it is a very tedious process and a lot of guesswork. Say I want to try and get right here to where my Gwenpool photo is. I'm going to crop left, and I am just going to guess about where I need it. 230. Let's do a little bit more. 250, 255. So right there, that gives me that crop on that side. And I can do the same thing for the tops and the bottom. Cut some off. Really come in closer. I'm going to back out of that. Put it back to where it was. So that's your basic transformation. That's about as simple as that gets. From there are some advanced techniques that you can use on OBS, which are a lot of fun. I have a switchboard here. See if you can see that. Where I can actually push these buttons and it'll switch over to the scenes that I want it to use. I can also turn off my microphones. I can start and end my stream from this. These are very, very useful. I also have a foot switch down here to where I can actually change my scenes just by my feet. Some other fun stuff.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, that foot thing is really cool. But also, I had a question. So, if you were setting something up where you wanted to do like a split screen, would it be best to do it where you kind of like resize your picture and then do an overlay? Or is there like another technique to like specifically do like a split screen?
So there isn't like a technique. You are going to have to resize everything to fit it in. And really that is going to come down to creatively what you want it to look like. What I actually have, let's see if I have them pulled up here. Nope. You can't see it because I don't have the guest open. Yeah, you can't see it. Where I can have their camera pop up right here over my picture, or you would be able to cut it down, resize it to half of the screen and half the screen, and you just save that as a new scene, and then you switch to that scene when it's time for that person to come in.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yep. Another real cool thing is you can put multiple microphones and cameras into this. So I am currently, let's see. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm currently using that camera, but I can actually have it set up to where I have 3 cameras all running at the same time, and I can switch between those using the sources and the scenes. Can't see it here, but so this is my main camera. If I wanted to switch over to my Nikon, which is what you are currently seeing on Zoom, so OBS can't see it, this would be it. And then I have a third one where it's my cell phone, and that image is here, and I can just switch back and forth. I keep going to that one. And for those, you would go into the settings of your different microphones, and you here, this is this is where all of your audio is. You can change your balances, your volume, whether or not you are hearing what is being played. That is the monitoring. So if you have monitor off, it means that you are not hearing OBS make that sound. You're only hearing it through your desktop. Let's see what else we got. Keyframing. So keyframing, also known as green screen, that is something that you are able to do by adding a filter. So you pick your image or your video or whatever, and you go click on your filters, and here you can add different effect filters and audio filters, and there's a chroma key. So I don't currently have a green screen, but this is how you would use that. So you go to custom, I can change my key color, and since I have a lot of black, I'm going to key out black. So right now it is saying everything is black, so it is cutting it out, and I can adjust all of this stuff here to change the what is being keyed out. I'm going to delete that, go back to where I was. So that is a very quick overview of some of the basic stuff that OBS has to offer. OBS is a great wealth of options and customability, but it has a very, very steep learning curve. I suggest looking into OBS Streamlabs. It is another OBS product that does a lot of this same stuff, but it is much more user-friendly, and it's more pointed at people who are doing like gaming streams or Twitch and something like that. It is a very toned down version of what this is. OBS is hands down the best free broadcasting software available. Sadly, it's also the worst. OBS, this is like the only thing like this, and it can do great things, but it has a lot of setbacks. It is hard to use. It messes up very frequently. I actually have an issue with mine currently where I can't change the scene collection, and because it'll crash. It'll just completely crash if I try to switch over to one of the different collections of scenes that I have. And whenever I go to turn OBS off, OBS doesn't turn off, it just crashes. You hit exit and it crashes, and that's how you turn it off. I do suggest going to YouTube if you have if you want to look for more stuff about this. There are dozens of other videos going over in depth what I showed you today, and lots more. So at that point, I guess I'm going to open it up to questions and see what you guys are wanting to know.
Oh, we've got a question, and is there a way to split up the desktop audio source? If I wanted to have audio from one program go through the stream, but not the audio from another, is there a way to select that?
So yes, there is. So you can, desktop audio is what's coming through Windows. If you have other programs playing sound, you can pick those programs specifically. So like say you have Windows Media Player playing your music. You can go into the audio mixer, you can add the source, audio input capture, and you would be able to pick from all of the different sources of audio that are available currently on your computer.
Were there any other questions?
Well, actually, I'm going to go over Corey's question a bit more here.
Oh,
I see
perfect.
there was part of it that I didn't answer. So the not the audio from another, that is the hard part. I actually have to use a different program for that on my computer, where I use, it's called, bring it over here so you can see it. It's called Voicemeeter. This actually splits up the different audios that are coming from my desktop. So this way I can point the audio to where I want it to go, to where it's just me hearing it and not the stream hearing it, or just me in the stream but not Discord, or just Discord and not me in the stream. Voicemeeter is the way that I do that.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, my only solution I had, it was exactly that. It was streaming a game and just wanted the game audio and not the Discord chat I had going. And my only solution to that was to run it on two separate computers.
The Voicemeeter is literally the only way to do it. And just like OBS, it has a steep learning curve. Go on YouTube, watch a bunch of videos. It was a very hard process that I had to figure out when doing the Fearless 5 space. It was, I want to be able to have my stream hearing this stuff, but I don't want the actors to hear me.
Right. And I think I'm messed with that a little bit around Die Laughing Halftime, and then I was like, I'm just gonna, not do this and just go with the simpler way that kind of works rather than figure that out right now.
Which the simplest way is just to have your cell phone next to you, and that plays the music for you.
Cool. Well, it doesn't seem like there are any other questions, and I don't want to but I just wanted to say thank you everybody for showing up. Aiden, was there anything else that you wanted to promote or tell people about, or anything going on right now?
There currently isn't anything going on. I mean, Fest just stopped. My band is looking for stuff to do. The next thing that I actually have coming up, I believe, is Fearless 5. I will be directing one of the shows in that, and that will be showing in February.
Excellent. All right. Well, yeah, thank you, everyone. I don't know if you can see the chat right now with your screens up, but everyone's saying thank you so much. And thank you very much, Aiden. And thank you, everybody, for coming today. I hope you all have a really great rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for putting this
Thank
together.
you.